Hi, I'm Mary, a librarian and book reviewer with a focus on stories written for kids, tweens, and teens. Today I get to share with you this book called 10 Sleep by Nicolas Lartes. This is the story of Greta, a Mexican-American woman who lives in Wyoming, and she is on a 10-day cattle drive with a couple other buckaroos, and they are going about their normal cattle drive business. What starts as just another trip in the Wyoming wilderness, however, turns sinister quite quickly when things begin to go awry and sounds and creatures begin appearing unexpectedly. As they are continuing their journey, they know they only have 10 sleeps until they find safety, but the question is whether they'll make it there or not. This story is a really creepy tale because it blends nature and human experience all in one, especially because it takes place in the Wyoming wilderness where there's not a lot of help to be found. So the characters in this story all have kind of something going on in the background, some that they share with one another and some that they do not. And that adds to the sinister quality of the story because you don't always know exactly what someone is thinking. Greta is a primary character in the story, but it also goes into some other perspectives, including some animals, some alive and some less so. And as you're getting to know the perspectives of all of these creatures, you also see their perspectives about the humans that are in their environment. So there's a lot to contemplate in this story. A lot of it is written in more of a narrative style as opposed to dialogue. So as you're going through the book, you have more of that contemplative, kind of descriptive language instead of the more forward moving dialogue, but you have a little bit of both. So as you're going through the story, you're bouncing back and forth between different perspectives. You're hearing and seeing a lot of the conflict that's happening between the characters, both with the characters themselves and also internally, and then all of the unexplained circumstances that are happening around them. Definitely better for a mature young adult audience because of the content and also just the depth and complexity of the story. But anyone who's interested in a horror type book that is more real than might be otherwise desired, this book is a really interesting and captivating journey through the American West from multiple perspectives and gives readers cause to consider how humanity has changed the environment over time and what that might ultimately do to nature itself. If this sounds like a great fit for you or for someone you know, I hope you look for it wherever you get your books.